Welcome back to Doom Patrol, Season 2, Episode 2, Time Patrol. Um, last time, uh, we got introduced to Chief's daughter, and that was pretty much it. Someone in the comments put it pretty eloquently. We just watched 30 minutes of a child being traumatized. That's all that happened, really. um, so yeah, I'm excited to... I hope we get to learn about this voice sooner rather than later, because last season we were introduced to the threat like immediately, but this season they might switch it up and be more like mysterious about it. Just have it be a voice for a little bit. I think it's interesting also that both seasons so far, things could change. They could throw a curveball in here, but the villain is like prominently just a voice, a narration. Not a narration necessarily for this one, but you know how last season not Niles, nobody was definitely like an ever-present voice figure, just unattached to a body for when he's menacing, and same with this character right now. It's just this menacing voice that we don't really know much about. Less less goofy and fourth wall breaking, but still. Anyways, let's jump into the episode and see what happens. Oh my god. Okay, oh my god. My god. Candle boy.
How do you know my mother?
I'm your daddy.
Longevity talisman to a scientist in return for superpowers.
So you shot up the Nazi lab, stole the dumb monkey paw, and Morton became Mr. Nobody. I saw the puppet show. What about us?
Mylan.
It says darling.
Good morning. Rise and shine. Our father is dying. He's dying.
What in the Doris Day IKEA fuck was that?
You can't keep doing drugs.
Cliff, did you know that Niles is dying?
Oh yeah, Karma's a bitch. Let that be a lesson to you, kid.
He's not dying.
Cliff. Read the room.
139.
Dear God, he's practically dead.
Oh boy, here come the wanderers. Vic had the right
Where's
idea
Larry?
getting out of it. Spin the wheel, Niles Calder. Which one of us are you gonna be?
None of us.
What? Sir?
Right, Niles? We're your failed experiments.
Yeah.
My son is dead.
Oh, did Chief get him too?
Shut up, Cliff.
Yeah, come on. That's a bit much now.
Knock, knock.
Jesus.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Armageddon.
Oh my god, no.
I'm getting tired of all this knocking.
Jesus.
Not talk about our moms?
Oh my god. I don't know. This is...
Imagine a world. A world that time forgot. A world where all you have is time.
like
a
a
world where
screen
time is
pitch
a
or something.
blessing.
Stop saying time.
Where it's our time to shine.
The fuck is that?
Oh, this man's helmet.
Oh my god.
We may be able to slow the Chief's
Rita the
aging.
leader.
Maybe I am.
Oh,
Because you and half the underground can't seem to remember that I'm generally opposed to putting little girls in cages. So as long as I'm on the surface, I'm helping.
I feel like we're gonna get a tonal shift very soon. I'm just waiting for the drop. Hello?
what the fuck?
It's the next time he tries to mug someone.
What if there isn't a next time?
What if this is the moment that this kid turns his life around? What if we put him on the right path?
Wave the magic wand of forgiveness and suddenly he's not a criminal.
You're not listening to me. Nobody should be judged by the worst thing they ever did.
Get out of here, kid.
I don't know anything about that.
Say something else.
He knows his voice.
Yeah, Paul. It's me. Your dad.
He accepted it pretty quick. I'm surprised. I thought this meeting was gonna go a lot worse. He should.
All right, folks, it's time for couples.
The whiplash! The whiplash is real. Are these like...
Oh no.
This fucking
This
song!
fucking song again.
Yeah, I'm like, are these people like stuck on time loop?
it ever got, baby.
Come on, Rita. Channel those emotions. Nice, yeah. Oh okay, you didn't have to murder him.
What did you do?
My research was thin.
Oh, but confident enough to call him terrible, even though he was just some self-absorbed putz. It seems to me like you want a hit squad to invade a time capsule and murder a guy.
I asked for no such thing. For the last time, I never asked for...
Stop saying that! You turned us into what we are. And now we can only do one thing, and we can't even do that!
Now I'm getting doubts. I feel like something's gonna happen, something bad. Just go in. Don't peek through the window, just go in. Go, yeah. Listen to the spirit. Listen to your heart.
Beseech you, cast away the demons who
Okay,
have gone
so we're
and
talking about the
caged
church
Thomas
thing now,
these 7
finally.
years.
That's
Cast
another thing
away the
brought up in the
spirit
first season we didn't
and
really
return
explain.
Kay to our...
I can do this, Kay. I know what you want. Let me go up for you.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Oh, I see the light.
No amount of holy water will ever purify the sins you allow to go on in your home. And if you want your sinful compliance to stay buried, then you will call me Miranda.
Miranda. I had a feeling it was Miranda. What? So, it confirms my theory that they want to replace her as primary.
What?
Oh my god.
Can you
Rita.
help me?
No, I can't help you. And I can't help your father. I'm an utter failure and I can't even help myself.
She's a child, just...
Not that kind of help.
Now lightly whip the egg batter into a froth.
Aww.
Like, chop me up. Not if I can fucking help it.
What the hell, Cliff? Oh. Just go inside, Larry. There's that butterfly again. What? That got dark so quick. What the hell just happened? What the fuck? That turned so dark so quick. Okay. We saw the candle dude. I just wrote Candle Boy. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I think his name's Candlemaker. but I have no idea what he does. But that's the voice. That's the Wish guy. Um, yeah, we got the reveal at least. Pretty cool design. Great CGI. I mean, this show's always had pretty good CGI, so um, it looked awesome. Herschel's the spider. I like to remember Herschel. What's the antler bear thing called? I don't know if they said that. And then we have Darling, who's really creepy. I don't know. Um, it's cool seeing the origins of Danny the Street. The plan is kind of to put Dorothy back on Danny the Street, which I think they're a good pair. It is kind of a forced imprisonment, but at the same time, I don't know. Like that's an interesting conversation to have about is it really institutionalization, even though Danny is more of a refuge and asylum, but then asylums, all the connotations there too. So, um, someone who is smarter than me could make you know, a good essay on, um, like I said, I mean, with the maybe I'm just overthinking things, but with the scene with Cyborg and the woman talking about institutionalization and how oppression of minorities and getting stuck in the system and all that stuff, um, coupled with the fact that recently I just read some Far Sector and that's talking a little bit about it and the current events going on with Black Lives Matter. Maybe I'm just sort of overthinking things right now, but um, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to think about if it's really the best thing for Dorothy to be on Danny the Street, or is it technically a form of oppression? Because we've seen Danny be only a good person. Danny's always been a great entity, bringing joy and happiness to these people, these outcasts. But at the same time, Chief kind of perverted that and made it a place of seclusion, isolation, where he just tucked Dorothy away and forgot about her. Not forgot, but the way that Jane's kind of talking about it, it's like she kind of brought it up that I'm not going to let her be trapped on another, be locked away for another 100 years. So it's yeah, it's interesting, but I'm not going to. Moving on. Uh, Dr. Jonathan Tyme, interesting character. Um, I'd like to see him back again. A little cameo like they did with Beard Hunter last season. But it was pretty obvious it wasn't going to work. um, uh, the Rita stuff this episode. We already knew her name was Gertrude. Um, but he said you'll never be anything but a fraud, which really hit her. Um, I think it's because she's trying to be such a better person and change her life around, and to be told by pretty much a omniscient person that is not going to work, really set her on a dark path. But I'm glad Dorothy in the end she kind of brought it full circle where Niles was saying. Someone was saying like, I'll never teach Dorothy how to cook and drive and clean, or that was Dorothy, wasn't it? She was like, no one's going to teach you how to cook and drive or walk me down my wedding. Um, so it's cool, I think Rita has these grand, not delusions, but, these grand notions of what a hero is. And I hope this is the first step of her realizing that being a hero sometimes just means being there. Um, and helping out when she can, how she can. She doesn't have to be, like Cyborg and stopping muggers and, all that stuff. Um, maybe it's just helping this little girl be normal. Um, and I just thought that was a really touching scene at the end. The butterflies. I thought it was so sweet at first, because like, it's not a very, I don't know if it's a common one, but uh, the immediate thing that I was thinking of was it's that, gay metaphor of how when a person's coming out, it's like they're becoming the butterfly after a chrysalis period of where they're trying to hide their sexuality and all that stuff. Um, and the butterfly landing on Larry was kind of, it didn't make sense in the scene, but that was just the first thing I thought about. Um, but obviously there's something more to it now, so uh, something sinister because they were all swarming around Larry. Um, uh, it's gonna be interesting to see next episode, hopefully next episode, what's going on there. Um, something else, but yeah, I said during the episode I liked that his son was like immediately accepting of Larry's, like, oh, you're my dad, um, and I hope that we can come back to that storyline some point. Like I said, I'm guessing something's happening to Larry right now, and he's gonna deal with that first. Um, but I'm hoping he can actually connect with the son again, because it feels like Cliff and Clara are not going to have that connection that I was hoping for. Um, so if we can get some sort of parallel between him and his kid versus Larry and his kid, that would be cool. Um, Miranda v. Jane, it's seeming like it is going to be a fact of she's not going to be the primary anymore, or they're trying to oust her as the primary. Um, uh, and I was curious that Miranda is coming back into the picture. I assume she was kind of not dead, but like, not an entity anymore. I don't know. Like, I guess I should have assumed she was one of the 64 still, but just the way they talk about her going down the well and all that, um, I guess it's kind of like a lobotomy almost of that personality rather than a like complete elimination of it. So she's still in the underground, I guess, and they're talking about bringing her back as the primary again. Um, so I hope we get to meet some present Miranda so we can actually sort of see what she's like. We saw her here in the past, but we haven't really seen her in the present at all. What's her current state besides just being the girl? Last season, um, when we were in the underground, we saw the memories of her and all that, but I just kind of, maybe that is the present her is in that sort of locked up room with all the hanging bodies and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's an interesting storyline. Um, Vic, I don't know. Like I saw from the trailers that this woman is obviously going to be important to him. So I kind of was like, ugh, because it just felt so quick. Um, his storyline this episode was really just like fast paced. Like, okay, I meet this girl, we're on a date already, we're having these systemic societal issues talk. Um, I wish it was more of a slow burn, but we'll see. Um, it's only the first episode. I'm gonna give it a chance. Um, but I am glad that he is at least making the attempts to go to therapy and all that. Um, at first I thought he was just kind of running away from his problems. He's gonna go back to his father and start being a hero again or whatever. But it looks like he's just taking some time to himself and he's trying to figure it out, which is good because we always see the trope of a character is going through all these bad things, PTSD, but they're not seeking the help. Um, and so we kind of flipped it on its head, and he's actually going. He didn't share, but he was at least there trying. So that's cool. And still with Cliff, this episode, I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like they're setting him up to be rightfully mad at Niles, but I just don't see where his storyline is going besides being almost an antagonistic role towards him. Um, all the watching these tapes, confronting him at the what should we call it, the interrogation room. Um, it just seems like he's doing everything out of spite. He's trying to find things to hate about Niles, which again, like I'm not saying he should get over it or anything, but I just I just don't want his storyline to be I am angry. I am gonna do everything because I'm mad. I want him to have an actual something of substance. But so far, these first two episodes, all we've seen him do is just be mad, punch things. Um, he just wants to fight and get his aggression out, and maybe he needs that. Maybe he needs that catharsis. But I just don't see where his story's going is all. Um, so at the same time, he's my least interesting character right now, but also my most interesting because I don't know what he is doing. I can't predict what kind of plots we're gonna touch on with him. Where with Rita, I know what we're doing with her. With Vic, I kind of see what we're doing with her, with him. Larry and Jane have their own stories, and I kind of get what we're gonna explore with those characters. But Cliff, I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's a wild card right now. Um, so yeah, interesting episode. They really ramped it up this episode, getting back to those touching moments, but also the wild, crazy moments, going back to back. Yeah, good episode. And I'm gonna jump right into the next one. I don't even know. I'm slouching, so I just want to make sure you guys know I'm repping that Doom Patrol. Okay, you know, I ordered a Titans poster too, so I'm getting there. Okay, but yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys like. If you guys have any sort of explanations for the things I've been talking about in this review section, please let me know, and I'll talk with you in the comments. See you in the next episode. Bye.